gear versus Ethan Crelinsten in the blue. Immediate sit for Pato to be expected.
Yeah, winner going to take on Owen Jones. This is a really interesting matchup here. Pato has been on an absolute tear. And Ethan Crelinsten has looked as good as he's ever looked in his last few matches. Pato, yeah, as much of a menace as Pato is in the leg game, man, he can wrestle. He's great from the top position. He just really knows how to wreck legs. But Crelinsten, very well versed in top game, bottom game.
We've seen different competitors as well. Just one more point on Pato. We've seen different competitors as time has gone on choose either the gi or the no gi camp when it comes to competition in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So the hybrid athlete, some would say, is a bit of a dying breed. Not Pato. Victorious and successful across gi and no gi. And Ethan Crelinsten, as we mentioned in his last match, is a household name in the world of ADCC, especially in this division. Has time and again proved that he is a formidable force. Very well-rounded. Finds himself fending off a possible attack from Pato, though.
Pato trying to turn that leg in, keeping Ashid up to the outside. Crelinsten trying to keep all the weight forward on that foot. Now you see him trying to sneak it back. Pato able to get the heel off the mat. Sneaks his left arm inside to help defend here.
Pato, sorry, keep going.
No, go.
Pato's the who's number one featherweight and lightweight champion is what I was going to say. Has submitted Diogo Hayes and Dante Leon for those respective straps.
Yeah, he's just a gangster. He's constantly chasing the submissions here. Canadian B team, black belt Ethan Crelinsten. 50-50'd off here. Really focusing on the defense at this point. Hasn't even reached back to try anything offensively. Really focusing on making sure his foot stays safe. See him walking it away, trying to get that knee to the ground. Pato just sucks it back in, sits him back down. Trying to bring this foot across. Oh, look at him just extending it out and trying to like physically turn the foot into position. So when I say he's a menace, this is what I mean. He just does things that you're not expecting. All right, Crelinsten able to get that knee to the floor.
Trying to get that knee line free. But Pato does such a good job of keeping the lock tight around the hip. The leg never seems to be too low when he gets into the leg entanglement to where you could easily pop your knee out. He has a very firm control over the knee line in the corner of Pato. Not only Guy Mendez, but this time also Tynan Dalpra, who there was some speculation as to whether we would see Tynan Dalpra at the ADCC World Championship, but perhaps next time.
And again, they're in 50-50, and Ethan is an incredibly skilled leg locker, and he hasn't even, oh, now he tries to throw that leg inside, a bit more controlled, puts it back to the outside. Crelinsten follows up, gets that foot to the floor. But from that 50-50, Crelinsten didn't even look to be offensive on the legs. He was solely focused at Pato not getting to what he knows he wants to be at. And I think that's a really smart move from Crelinsten.
Pato throwing a toe hold now, forcing Crelinsten to roll.
Crelinsten looking at it, looking at a toe hold of his own here. That cutter foot submission, trying to extract his knees in the process. Almost gets it free. Pato able to butterfly back off. Butterfly back off, and he'll get himself back to 50-50 here. Crelinsten adjusts knee brace with the leg over the shoulder of Pato. Now he gets that knee back to the mat.
Pato seems to have been poked in the eye. Something is bothering him. At least it looks like.
When Crelinsten gets that foot to the floor and gets it weighted, Pato does such a good job of driving the hips out to sit Crelinsten down to gain access back to that heel.
5 seconds until points come into effect
Wow.
Pato working on a heel hook here.
I mean, these guys haven't stopped the entire time. They are into points now. Let's see if Pato treats this a little differently now and maybe uses some of these attacks from 50-50 or attacks on the legs to come up and get scores.
One thing I've noticed about this match too, Jay, is Ethan Crelinsten, when he's in these leg situations, very comfortable.
Oh, so calm, so calm. That's what I said. I'm glad he didn't just go reckless and try to match back on his own submission, and that he really focused. Like, Pato is incredibly dangerous from there. So the fact that he, made sure that he kept himself safe is, important in focusing on, winning is the biggest objective here.
Important to mention as well is the physical strength of Ethan Crelinsten and the dedication he puts into his physical preparedness for these different matchups. It's something that sets him even that next stage of elite athletic ability. You have to be good, and you have to be technical with your jiu-jitsu at the highest level, but also you need to be in shape. Especially in ADCC rule set.
Especially in ADCC rule set. Great
Now
podcast too.
And he has
Member of the Simple Man podcast. Very entertaining.
Now the false reap possibly coming through for Pato. Defended by Crelinsten.
And he's been very aware of everything that's been going on. Like, as much attacks that have been happening, like, he's never been in trouble where he's had to flee off of a submission too much, right? I think there might have been one attempt from Pato that he really had to address. Pato K's off, trying to get behind that foot.
Back in the 50-50.
Again, Crelinsten focusing on keeping that knee to the mat, trying to get his weight in a position to where he'll, there you go, get him to unlock that figure four so this is a little easier to open. 2.5 minutes to go. The Canadian Ethan Crelinsten representing B team and AOJ's Diogo Pato.
Pato looked like he had a brief look at the inside heel hook. Really fighting for it as we have just over 2 minutes left.
Pushes, trying to get back across. Looks like Crelinsten's trying to get his leg out of the 50-50 position.
Now spinning, orienting his hips in a different way, deep on the leg now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, but look at the defense of Ethan. Beautiful work by Crelinsten to navigate that.
Like you said, he just seems on point. He's staying calm, understands what he has to do to stay safe. And with that said, man, Pato is just not relenting on looking to finish.
Once again in on the leg, and every time that Pato is able to spin underneath and potentially find room for that inside heel hook that he so loves, he's met with the quick resistance of Ethan Crelinsten.
1 minute to points here. Now, once points start, now we're in, takedown territory. Crelinsten, very good wrestling. Pato's got good wrestling as well, so this will be very interesting. This is our last quarterfinal match of the day too. After this, we'll just have our super match with Gordon and Pena.
And Diego Pato has gone on record. Oh, here we go. We might not even need to see if Diego Pato.
Oh, wow. What timing on this sweep here.
Oh, and it turns into a knee bar.
Oh,
look at that.
Wow.
From a takedown attempt, sitting back to the ground and knee barring. That tripped us up, Jay.
You know what? We were so, and I'm sure Ethan was the same way, he was so focused on not getting scored on for the points that leg went straight when him trying to extract right to the knee bar. AOJ's Pato, absolute menace and into the semifinals.
DA